We are finally back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We are back at it. Lawrence County Recovery, the owner here, Kathy Ross. We did a little, if you've noticed, the last probably month or so, 3 or 4 weeks during Christmas and the holidays, we kind of recirculated some episodes from previous episodes. And simply because Kathy and I have been incredibly depressed with the seasonal depression disorder.
I'm telling you, it's been bad this year.
When the time changes, my whole mood changes.
Life
it's
horrible.
And it's real. Tommy behind he
Same
called
thing.
me when I told him, I said, we're not going to do one this week. You know, Kathy wasn't feeling really up to it, and I don't know that I am. And he sent me a message, and I guess he has some kind of sun lamp or something, and he keeps on his desk, and he said because he suffers from it
I'm
too.
telling you, right there.
We're about to get us
It's going to find me a sun lamp.
I'm
pale white. I guess I get in the sun.
But it's good to be back.
It
you know, I think we're going into our, what is it? Is this our second year, or is it?
It has to be our third.
Third, going into 3 years. Oh my God, that's unbelievable.
I cannot believe that.
Going into our third year of my road to recovery, and I had somebody. Now, the reason I wanted to start the episode out with this, and we'll talk about what we got coming up this year, but I've had it. I know you probably get it 10 times more than I do, but some people, you know, that will watch it or come across or not be much into recovery, you know, it's definitely a niche world. Recovery is, and not everybody believes in it. Not everybody understands it. There's sometimes a negative connotation that goes with the recovery. I know you go through that as an owner for sure, but I've had, you know, 99.9%, it's always positives, as you can tell by the comments.
Oh yeah, usually they got some good stuff to say, but there's always that one.
It's always the one, and that's what I hate when I'm sitting here going to even bring it up.
Because I hate it, because that's the one I remember.
Oh,
you never remember the good, but boy, that loud one.
100 great comments, and then one guy says, well, don't you feel like you're exploiting those addicts? And that's the one that resonates, because I don't know if I want to fight him, if I want to, you know, fight. The first thing I do is click on his name and find out where he lives.
There you go.
Because I want to make sure that I can't get to him overnight.
Because it gets you hard.
I wanted to ask you, you know, when, you know, we started this we as a group of us here to give a platform to people that are hell fighting for their lives.
They are. A lot of them are.
You don't get, if like you made a good point we were talking earlier, if this was a cancer podcast, you would never get that, you know, and trust me, I mean, I know there's differences, and they're all horrendous diseases. Some are self-induced and some aren't. But with that being said, man, you know, I know at the end of the day, and I know you well enough to know too, but I'll let you speak on your behalf. I have not one single solitary ounce of remorse or regret in my body for bringing on a recovering drug addict and sitting on this podcast to share their story of what the hell they went through.
Exactly.
You know, what they're going through, what they went through. Because there's somebody out there whose story is way worse than mine and yours ever thought about. I mean, we've done 100 interviews and
some of them cry. Wait till the ones that we're going to do in the next couple of weeks.
I know.
It's going to be
coming up. We kind of shot this out of context or whatever. Not that y'all know what that means, but I've had the chance to meet several of these that are coming up. And what is the coolest part for me? I didn't know most of these people when they were in full blown addiction, so I didn't know what their personalities were. And we had a conversation off air about, what were they like before addiction?
Who were they?
Yeah, who were they? What was their life like? You know, we had one little girl on that they'll be coming up in the next episode or so. Started using dope at 11.
11 years old.
11 years old. I didn't even know how to drink a Coca-Cola.
No, I was blown away. 11.
11, and then it progressed at 15. Crack.
Yeah, crack.
You know,
I couldn't believe it. I mean,
it's hard to fathom. So you got to wonder, man, what would their life? What would their personality be like had they never have found that? Would they be who they are? But the first girl that we did earlier, her personality didn't hardly fit in this room.
It didn't.
She called Mike bro.
She is. Hey, bro, get out here.
You gonna come help me out, bro? She just eat up with personality.
Oh, she's hilarious.
And there's a difference in sad tears and happy tears.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and all the people that we've done so far this year that y'all will be seeing coming up, they're happy tears.
Oh, God, they
because
are.
hell, why wouldn't they be?
Oh, my goodness.
They're in the depths of hell, fighting for the losing.
You're exactly
kids.
right.
And
Yes.
like I said, don't come at us with all that. Well, you shouldn't have done this. Don't get me started on the should have done to start with. How many
I
times you hear
agree.
that a day?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, self-induced.
Yeah.
You can. But I feel good, and I hope that you do too. But how do you address somebody that may feel that way towards putting people out in public? And it ain't like we make them do it.
No.
We ask. And,
Yeah. Well, a lot of them ask me. I mean, a lot of times, I don't have to call anybody. I'll have 5 or 6 people like, "Hey, Kat, next time you do that, I think I need to tell my story." Part of my recovery is giving back. Hey, do you think I can give back a little bit next time? So a lot of them reach out to me. So it isn't like I'm browbeating them and telling them like you have to do this or that. I mean, a lot of them enjoy it. And so when I get we've been in a bunch of areas before and front of a bunch of different people, and they'll say you get good people, bad people, and just ugly people. And I tell them, you know what? If you do not know what I'm talking about and it doesn't resonate with you, thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
You better go tonight and you better go home and pray, because that means you ain't been through this.
Yeah, you ain't got a clue. And glad you don't.
I do.
You don't even have to watch.
No.
If it don't affect you.
Scroll on.
Yeah, but just that button, that thumb right there. I know they're
works.
all strong. Just move it on up. But I can almost bet you. I'll go off the record and say there's not a soul in the world that'll watch through that camera lens right there that doesn't know, kin to, have been in contact with somebody that has not succumbed to addiction.
And if they don't know somebody like that, I need to be in their family.
I'll tell you right now, my family, I called my first cousin, her name's Laurie Moss. I called her a couple of weeks ago, one, because I couldn't remember who's alive and who's dead. It's been so I've been so separated from my family so long, and we started talking. Our entire family, I'm not saying the entire, but our entire side of my mother's family eat up with addiction. I mean, every cousin. Now a lot of them passed away. I don't think any of them that I thank God that I can remember it overdosed. Because one, it was a longer time ago when
drugs were different, things were different. Yeah,
but it was like so and so, so and so, the whole side of the family was succumb with addiction.
Oh yeah, and you didn't even realize it. I mean, I didn't realize how many alcoholics were around me every day. I didn't realize that just you don't until you step back and look. And mental health as well. Like mental health in my family, it's wide and broad. We all have a mental health issue. It seems like, but we didn't. What didn't exist years ago, it did. We just didn't talk about it.
Yeah, when I went in the first time I went in, I was so young. I had no idea why I was even there.
Yeah.
There was no way to. There was no amount of counseling or anything that you could ever tell a 7 or 8 year old kid. You can't comprehend that. Now, when I went in later on in high school, I was in once. It resonated and tried to find the root of the problem. In which I later found out. And then when it was 1990 when I went in the last time. Unless you've been around mental. You don't understand mental because it's
a scary disease.
It is, and I will say that being by the grace of God, I felt like I outgrew mine, and they say that is possible. Yeah. But when you exacerbate it with dope and
everything else,
money,
exactly,
and just the whole world. I mean, it was just in the middle of my whole career, my success. I don't remember much of it. Because I was so manic,
I can imagine. Probably never stood still long enough to appreciate it and have a good time
Bill Ray
with
Cyrus gave me some advice one time, warranted advice. He took me aside and he said, here's what I'm going to tell you because you're a really good friend of mine. I know you're a great person. He said, but you need to take 5, 10, 15 minutes out of every day of your life and go into a dark room and close the door. No phones, no light on or nothing, and sit in a corner. I didn't know where he was going with it. And he said, and you need to be still. Find a way to be still and reflect on all the great things that you got to do that day. You ain't even got to go back the day before or the day before, but take 10, 15 minutes of dark, quiet time. Because he said, when I started, and when Achy Breaky Heart took off, how
Paramount. I remember, it was crazy.
Massive.
Yes.
He said, I went into the Paramount and didn't have a nickel to my road manager, Al Shields, who was a dear friend of mine, opening up the trunk, and I had $6 million in the trunk of a car. And he said, I don't remember how I got it. No idea
wow.
where it came from.
Scary.
Because I didn't take 10 minutes out of my day to go, today, I did this, I got to do that. I spoke to her, I said hello to my mom, I loved on my dad.
Yeah.
I just was so gung-ho, wide open, that I never really got to take enough time to enjoy where it came from. And I think it's, that was a long time ago. That was in the 90s.
It still makes sense, though. I'm telling you.
It does. And I think it resonates with anybody, no matter what profession, whether you own a recovery center, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, a construction worker. I think everybody needs time alone to be still.
Yeah.
And
just to self-reflect.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense to me.
It helps me. I find mine mostly driving, which I do a lot of. And sometimes I want to listen to the radio and jam it up. And then other times I think, now's a good time.
Just quiet, still.
That's why I'm a morning guy. I text Mike up more. I know you're up early too. After we all are
it's what we do. Yeah.
But I love mornings because it's quiet.
Still.
Yeah, it's still, and I'm able to just kind of reflect. So for anybody that thinks we're doing anything other than what we're doing, I know I can speak on behalf of Kathy and myself, Mike, Donna, Jamie, everybody here. We do the right thing.
We do.
Yeah.
And the people that's passed on, I don't want their deaths to be in vain. So guess what? If I keep telling you that people get better, guess what? You start believing we get better.
Yeah.
And if I keep telling you that, then we keep getting better.
We were talking, we'll close it with this and we'll get on with it, but a good friend of mine who's a comic had posted something on Facebook the other day, and I totally got what he was saying. It was an argumentative thing. It was just about he just wasn't really happy seeing other people, doing something for somebody else and then, making a big deal out of it, and the right hand should know what the left hand's doing. And I normally don't comment, but I wasn't being argumentative, and neither was he.
Yeah.
I totally understood what he was saying. But I just basically said, well, there's if I could just ask you, take a look at a different side of it. If I've got the means that I've got an old junker Lexus 460 and a young lady at Clark's Pumping Shop needs a car, and I ain't got that $4,000 car ain't gonna break me one way or the other, thank God. If I can give her that car and say it's yours and here's the title, and all I ask is that maybe down the road when you become successful, you graduate college, you go, well, I got this old junker, I'm gonna give it to somebody else.
Pass it on.
And if people see that, and go, well, you know what, I've got a big flat screen TV out here in the garage that I ain't no more going to ever use in the world. Why don't I find somebody, if he can give away a car, hell, I got a TV.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter the amount of the gift. It's the amount of giving. And I tell people, it's like if Jerry Lewis does a muscular dystrophy telethon and then you don't show the final result.
Exactly.
Hell, why'd you do it for?
Exactly.
And that's my thing. Never be ashamed, I don't think, and I'll probably get lambasted for this, but never be ashamed to go, you know what, I pulled over today and I gave a $100 bill to a homeless guy. I challenge you to do the same thing. One may do it, 10 may do it. But I say don't ever be ashamed to do it.
No, don't ever.
And most of the people that are doing that anyway ain't doing it for the pat on the back.
They're not.
I ain't got much back left. Mine's been patted so much. But that's just my opinion. I don't know if that's everybody.
No, I think that you're right. I think you're exactly onto something. I think that people forget sometimes to stop and be kind to each other. And if they see you doing it, and it reminds them, I mean, it's human nature. We forget things. We kind of get in a zone. I don't even remember driving home sometimes. So if we kind of do that, and I see you do it, I do it, other people do it, I think it's amazing.
Well said. That's the only point that we're trying to make, because if you don't see those random acts of kindness, then you think as a person in public, ain't nobody doing no good no more. Well, never do see nothing. Nobody doing no good for nobody else, whatever. So I challenge you.
Please.
Don't ever be ashamed to do it.
And 2026, give some time to others.
Yeah, and it ain't always got to be a monetary thing.
No,
it
just
could be,
time.
like I said, time. Jeremiah, my stepson, biggest heart, wouldn't fit in this room right here. He gets the biggest kick, I'm telling you, as my kid, of getting off the Proctorville Bridge and going into Huntington. The same guy been sitting there for years. Jeremiah will stop at a Clark's Pumping Shop and buy ding-dongs and pull off that exit and give that man them ding-dongs every day he goes down that bridge.
Really?
And a man said, why do you do that? He said, makes me feel good. Makes me feel good, and he gets the benefit from it.
He's eating.
So yeah, man,
Spread the love.
buy some ding dongs.
There you go. Moral of the story.
Yeah, moral of the story. Buy ding dongs and give them away.
Amen.
All right, I can't wait for y'all to see what we got coming up this year. Thank y'all so much for the views and the watches and the comments, good and bad.
3 years. I'm just blown away.
Yeah,
3 years. It's crazy. It's great.
It's well over. Tommy, what would you say now? I know it was $1 million 6 months ago.
It's unreal.
Maybe close to $2 million.
That is unreal to me. Like when we first started this little thing, I never thought in a million years that we'd be sitting here still today.
Well, I always liked it because 2 million. You think 2 million views, you kind of think, well, is that a lot? I mean, can you imagine if you took 2 million people and wrapped around this building?
I know.
That's what we talk about it with our podcast. It's the more people see it,
Yes.
the better chance you got.
Exactly.
That's why we're doing it. We're here if you need us. You can find this lady. She's always on a mission. So somewhere, and if not, call Mike. He'll call you back. Y'all have a great day. Can't wait for the new year. See you. Bye.